Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for today, Wednesday, February 3rd, 2016.
Commissioner Rodriguez, James, Repenning, Jacinto are present. President James, we have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, please, starting with Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Hannah Choi, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Steve Chen, Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, Monster Jerry, Bureau of Sanitation.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Good morning, Sherman Torres, Bureau of Street Services.
Good morning, Ted Jordan, Public Works General Counsel.
Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. President James, we did not receive any speaker cards under general public comment, nor any of the regular items for today's agenda.
Our first item, we'll close general public comment. Our first item of business, the approval of the meeting minutes from the meeting of Friday, January 15th, 2016. Is there a second to my motion that we approve those meeting minutes? By Commissioner Jacinto. Any objection? Without objection, those meeting minutes will be approved. We did close general public comments, so let's move to agenda item number 1. The receipt of bids for Public Works project in Council District 14, South District Sewer Maintenance Yard, estimate $6,600,000. Mr. Campos.
Thank you, President James. Also for the record, this is in Council District 14. The first bid received for this project is from Walsh Construction Company for a total bid amount of $9,929,000. That's 9929000 from Walsh Construction Company. The second and final bid received for this project is from Ford EC Incorporated for a total bid amount of $7,550,000 even. That's 7550000 from Ford EC Incorporated. President James, that concludes the bid opening.
Thank you. Is there a second to my motion that we receive the bids? The motion seconded, but any objection, the bids will be received. Thank you, sir. Let's do the assessment hearings that are on the agenda. Agenda items 2 through 7, street lighting assessment hearings, Council Districts 14 and 6 in various locations, scheduled council hearing date of February 10th, 2016 for all of them. Ruben?
Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting. Items 2, 3, 4, and 5 pertain to lighting districts, which we are creating in conjunction with a Bureau of Engineering, Department of Transportation street improvement project in Little Tokyo. Item 6 pertains to a lighting district, which we are creating in conjunction with a Department of Recreation and Parks general improvement project adjacent to the Cesar Chavez Recreation Complex in Sun Valley. Item 7 pertains to a lighting district, which we are creating in conjunction with a private development project. Ballots for items 2 to 7 were mailed on December 23rd, 2015. Ballots must be received by the City Clerk's office by next Wednesday, February 10th. We have not received any objections to date on items 2 to 7. We are requesting for the board to adopt and forward items 2 to 7 forthwith to City Council.
Any questions regarding 2 through 7? I don't have any questions. Is there a motion on 2 through 7 by Commissioner Cento? I'll second. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda items 2 through 7. Any problem sending 2 through 7 forthwith? We'll send numbers 2 through 7 forthwith. Thank you, Ruben. Agenda item number 11, Bureau of Engineering for Council District 11, recommending that the board authorize $75,000 in additional contingency and approve a revised construction budget of $175,000 for the super expedited wastewater emergency rehabilitation for sewers at Sewers 5 Royal Court Alley project, and authorize the city engineer to issue multiple change orders for this project to Matthew and Stewart Company for the extra work to repave the alley, furnish and install 18 new meter boxes, and repair 100 linear feet of concrete curb as needed. Mr. Louie? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? My name is Richard Louie with the Bureau of Engineering, and I am the program manager for the Sewers 5 contract. Today, this board report is recommending to authorize $75,000 in additional contingency and authorize the city engineer to issue multiple change orders to the Royal Court Alley 200 project. So, to begin, let me give a little background. The Sewers 5 contract is a unit price contract which is intended for the urgent repair of sewers. Work is issued to each of the 2 pre-qualified contractors as sewers are identified by the Bureau of Sanitation that require repair. For each construction order, the engineer selects the contractor with the lowest quantity takeoff cost estimate based on the unit prices they submitted in their statement of qualifications. And under the sewers program, the city engineer has the authority to issue each construction order for a total cost up to $100,000. That would be the sum of the construction order plus any change orders. So the project in front of you today is the Royal Court Alley 200 project. This project was to remove 326 feet of 6-inch sewer and replace it with an 8-inch sewer. During construction, the community raised concerns about the existing condition of the pavement and requested that the alley be repaved. Council District 11 also contacted the Bureau of Sanitation and requested the alley to be repaved. The existing alley is in cracked and in poor condition, and there are actually some photos shown on the board report which show this condition of the alley. Also, the uneven surface makes it difficult to match a new trench surface with the existing degraded pavement. So the Bureau of Sanitation evaluated these issues and requested the engineer to add scope to repave the alley onto the project. The sewer construction work was actually completed in November 2015, and the only remaining work is to repave the alley, which is the main reason for this board report. The engineer has negotiated with the contractor a cost of $77,787.77 for change order number 1, and that will compensate the contractor to remove the existing asphalt concrete pavement, AC pavement for short, remove and replace 18 water meter boxes, and repave 6 inches of AC pavement. In addition to this, additional change orders may be necessary to address unforeseen conditions that come up in the course of the repaving work. Therefore, we are recommending that the board authorize the city engineer to issue multiple change orders under this project and to authorize $75,000 in additional contingency for a revised construction budget of $175,000. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Richard. I don't have any questions. Commissioner Ascento?
Thank you, President James. Richard, thank you for your report. So really the change order scope of work is in response to constituent
Correct.
Calls to repave the alley and the support of the city to really say, well, let's do this in addition to repairing the sewer, that we could do this as well. And that's why the change order is such a high. It's an additional scope of work that wasn't really planned in the beginning.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Okay, thank you. Commissioner Santos made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 11. I'll second it along with Commissioner Repenning, so that will be the order. Any problem sending it forthwith? We'll send number 11 forthwith. Thank you, Richard. Agenda item number 14, Bureau of Sanitation, recommending the board authorize the director of the Bureau of Sanitation to issue a notice of award to CH2M Hill to provide construction management support services for the Los Angeles Wastewater Information Network System in response to task order solicitation SN52 for a total budget of $1,100,000 for 6 months, with an option of a 6-month extension beginning when the Bureau of Sanitation issues the notice to proceed to the selected consultant, Mr. Pusti. Oh, it's not Mr. Pusti.
Anita Fernandez.
Now let me put my glasses on.
Anita Fernandez, LA Sanitation. Good morning, Commissioner James and Commissioners, Mr. City Attorney, Mr. Executive Officer, and Bureau Managers. On 12/21/15, the board approved amending the contract with CH2M Hill for project management services for the LA Winds project over the next 3 years. However, that process has not been completed yet and is still at the CAO for review. So the purpose of this TOS is to provide an interim mechanism to continue work while the city's contracting process is carried through. Once the actual contract amendment is approved, it will replace the task order for the completion of the project. So on November 30th, TOS SM52 was issued to all 25 contracting firms on the pre-qualified list. On 12/7, the pre-approval meetings were held. On 12/14, one proposal was received by CH2M Hill. And at the pre-proposal meeting, I forgot to mention there were 2 vendors who responded. CH2 performed a good faith effort and are proposing a total of 64.3% sub-consultant participation.
Commissioner Repenning?
I just wanted to say that the MeeBee and other levels on this contract look really strong, and just want to thank you guys for that.
Yes, thank you.
Any questions on this? I don't have any questions. Is there a motion on number 14 by Commissioner Repenning? I'll second it. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 14. Thank you, Anita. Please tell Ali we said hello.
Okay.
Thank you.
President James, would you like that to be considered forthwith?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
you.
Any problem sending it forthwith? We'll send number 14 forthwith. Thank you, sir. Let's go to agenda item 16. Specifications are submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids for the Los Angeles Glendale Water Reclamation Plant primary tanks and chlorine contact tanks guardrails and Donald C. Tillman Water Reclamation Plant primary tanks, secondary clarifiers, and chlorine contact tank guardrails project. The bid receipt date will be March 9th, 2016. The estimate's $1,805,000. Is there a second to my motion that we adopt agenda item number 16 forthwith by Commissioner Jacinto? Any objection? Without objection, we will do so on number 16. Regarding agenda item number 8 and 9, or 8, 9, and 10% potentially, let's go ahead and start with number 8. Bureau of Engineering for Council District 2, recommending the board authorize the city engineer to, 1, acquire a 10-foot wide permanent street easement denoted by parcel 4A on the property with assessor's parcel number 2337-038-001, commonly known as 11327 Burbank Boulevard, as required for the completion of the Burbank Boulevard from Lankershim Boulevard to Cleon Avenue project, and 2, request the Director of the Los Angeles Department of Transportation Bureau of Accounting to draw a demand in the amount of $96,500 payable to Joy Hands LLC to acquire the permanent street easement. Mr. Jimenez, I recognize that we have a couple of these on this project, but the payee is different and the amounts are different. So let's do them one at a time, even though they're the same project.
Sure.
Agenda item number 8.
Good morning, Udi Jimenez, Bureau of Engineering. I'm the Chief Real Estate Officer. So a little background on the project. The city's going to widen about 0.7 of a mile on Burbank Boulevard between Lankershim Boulevard and Cleon Avenue. The widening is going to happen on both sides of the street. In particular, this property, the city needs to acquire 10 feet of permanent street easement. There's going to be approximately 50 properties affected by the project. Over time, the city has accepted
50?
50?
Yeah.
Over time, the city has accepted dedications on both sides of the street, and only 19 properties will require that the city actually acquires easements for the construction of the project. This property was appraised, and the offer was made to the owner, and the negotiated price is what you have in front of you, and we're asking the board to approve that acquisition.
Any questions regarding the process or anything related to agenda item number 8? Is there a second to my motion that we adopt agenda item number 8 by Commissioner Jacinto? Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 8. Any problem sending it forthwith? We'll send number 8 forthwith. Agenda item number 9, Bureau of Engineering for Council District 2, recommending the board authorize the city engineer to acquire a 10-foot wide permanent street easement denoted by parcel 37A on the property with assessor's parcel number 2350-006-031, commonly known as 11218 Burbank Boulevard, as required for the completion of the Burbank Boulevard from Lankershim Boulevard to Cleon Avenue project, and request the Director of the Los Angeles Department of Transportation Bureau of Accounting to draw a demand in the amount of $26,000 payable to Rebecca A. Montez to acquire the permanent street easement. Mr. Jimenez on number 9.
This is for the same project. Also, a 10-foot wide easement is going to be required for this one. Again, this acquisition was based on an appraisal and negotiation that was settled with the owner.
The difference between number 8 and number 9, both 10-foot easements?
The difference is that number 8 required some internal reconfiguration of the business because the 10 feet that we're acquiring from the, number 8 is that it was a lawnmower shop, and he staged a lot of his repairs on the front part of his business. We had to relocate and reconfigure his business, and we negotiated a higher amount because of the reconfiguration of the business. So it was kind of like a relocation, but internal, and that's why it was higher. But the initial valuation of the land was approximately the same as the first one, as the second one, the item number 9. Any additional questions regarding agenda item number 9? Is there a second to my motion that we adopt agenda item number 9? By Commissioner Jacinto. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt number 9. Any problem sending it forthwith? We'll send number 9 forthwith. Agenda item number 10, Bureau of Engineering, also for Council District 2, recommending the board authorize the city engineer to acquire a 10-foot wide permanent street easement denoted by parcel 38A on the property with assessor's parcel number 2350-006-032, commonly known as 11224 Burbank Boulevard, as required for the completion of the Burbank Boulevard from Lankershim Boulevard to Cleon Avenue project, and request the Director of the Los Angeles Department of Transportation Bureau of Accounting to draw a demand in the amount of $37,500 to Cyrus Ben Cohen Family Trust and Ben Cohen Family Revocable Trust, 2004, to acquire the permanent street easement. Mr. Jimenez? This is also a 10-foot wide easement. Some of the variations in the actual appraised value included both the appraisal of the land and the improvements taken. In some cases, some of the front of the property had improvements like fencing and block walls and things like that, some landscaping. So what the city would do would be appraise the property taken and any improvements. In this case, there were more improvements that were valued at a higher number than item number 9.
Any other questions on agenda item number 10, Commissioner Jacinto?
I do, thank you. Udi, just wanted to confirm that all 3 easements are being paid for by the Department of Transportation, correct?
Yes, this project is funded by LADOT, and it's going to be built by Bureau of Engineering.
Okay, thank you.
Anything further? Is there a second by motion that we adopt agenda item number 10, seconded by Commissioner Jacinto? Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 10. Any problem sending it forthwith? We'll send it forthwith. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Agenda item number 12, Bureau of Street Services, notice inviting bids, recommending the board adopt the specifications and advertise for bids to be received on March 9th, 2016, in connection with the following 4 tree trimming projects. Number 1, broadhead tree trimming in the parkways of Pico Boulevard from Union Avenue to Alvarado Street and certain other streets with an estimate of $600,075. 2, broadhead tree trimming in the parkways. And number 1 is for Council Districts 1 and 14. I'll get to that again in a moment. The second one in 12.2, Council Districts 4 and 13, broadhead tree trimming in the parkways of Otsego Street from Ranchito Avenue to Murrieta Avenue and certain other streets. Estimate of $680,805. Number 3, broadhead trimming in the parkways of Lockhurst Drive from Friar Street to Victory Boulevard and certain other streets. Estimate $465,805. $885. And 12.4, broadhead tree trimming in the parkways of Lancashire Boulevard from Victory Boulevard to Sylvan Street and certain other streets, estimate $771,525. Colleagues, there's been a request from the council office to continue item 12.1 regarding council districts 14 and 1 from today until Friday, which is fine with me. It's a 2-day continuance. Any problem with that? Mr. Campos, then we'll continue item 12.1 from today until Friday.
That's February 5th, correct?
Yes, February the 5th. Thank you. For 12.2, 3, and 4, Mr. Tyson.
Good morning, President James, Commissioners, Bureau Representatives, City Attorney, and Executive Officer. We have a chance here to do something that we've not done before, which is have a contract written up with 2 optional years after that, so that the flow of the tree trimming will happen during the right time of year and also during the same fiscal year of which the money is allocated for.
Stop the madness, Mr. Tyson.
I'm sorry?
I said stop the madness, Mr.
Yes, we're trying to change some things and actually make it better. With these contracts, we can forge ahead. The contractors will be able to bid on all the 3 years, and if they decide to do their option for the first year and the second year, then we will not have to go back out to bids to find contractors, and it will be a smooth flow transition into the next year and the next year. And we would like to see the board approve these forthwith so that we can put these out for.
Commissioner Repenning.
The only thing I would say to this, and I don't know how real this is really just kind of things I've heard people say, is that sometimes the private tree trimming contractors that we use, the work is not always the quality that we would like it to be. So that's just something I've heard. It's not always even among different companies. So this is a good thing, but hopefully the folks that get awarded this work, we can make sure that they're trimming the trees to the standards that we would like.
And in response to your not question but statement, we have brought on, which we haven't done before, we have brought 4 contract inspectors downtown so that we have them right with us every day, and we're monitoring all the tree trimming. We will be, as right now all the tree trimming has stopped. The contracts that were from the fiscal year before are done, and we're changing a pattern. We do know that there has been complaints, and we've seen some of the trees, and we bring them in and let them know that if it continues, they'll be removed from the contract. So there's also that. And I think with management being at work and monitoring all this on a all-the-time basis, we can change things.
Okay, thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Commissioner Repenning. And Tim, I might add, just by way of confirmation, that the contracts, to the extent that the inspectors determine that the work is unsatisfactory, if the problem is not cured or is not curable, they are potentially in breach of the contract and can be removed, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Great, thank you. So I know that the Bureau's wanted to do this for some time, so we're optimistic that, let's call this a pilot project for now, that it...
a large undertaking where we normally write up 40,000 trees for the contracts. Yes. It's 120,000. It's taken us quite some time.
And I'll see you on Friday for, I know we need to vote on this item, but you're available on Friday for 12.1?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
President James, for the continuation of 12.1, would that continuation impact the bid receipt date, or is the intent to continue the bid receipt date as scheduled on March 9th, 2016?
It does not have to. I spoke to the council office on the reason for it. So it does not need to affect the bid receipt date as far as we're concerned. Does it as far as you're concerned?
I would like to have them all go out on the same date.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that was
That
the
would be my
intention.
recommendation as well. Otherwise, we would have to amend the current recommendation as
So
as
let's,
stated.
no, we can still send those bids out for a March 9th bid receipt date.
Yes,
Yeah, but we're just doing this, there's a reason we're going to vote on this on Friday for CD 14 rather than today.
correct.
Okay. So for 12.2, 3, and 4, I would move that we adopt the agenda item as is. Is there a second? By Commissioner Cento? Yes?
President James, as amended.
Yes.
Not as is.
Oh,
As amended.
well, I was voting, okay, so vote, let me do it this way then, whatever you like. I can vote on 12 as amended. That would take out, here.
12.1.
All right, yeah. What I would rather do in the future is not have 12, I would rather have 4 different agenda items for each of these.
Okay.
Just in case this happens, so we don't have this procedural problem with 12.1 and 12.2.
We'll definitely coordinate with the Bureau.
Yeah, I'd rather have 4, kind of like we did with BOE on those 3 items on the same project, because they're easier to divide up if we need to do some procedural things on this end of the desk.
So then the next 7 CDs I'll break up into
Yes.
separate
items.
but they
Yes.
could all be heard on the same day.
The next contracts. But why don't you tell me, Mr. Campos, the way that we need to vote for this today, but achieve a continuance until Friday for 12.1?
Based on the recommendations in the board report before you, the recommendation would be to adopt the report as amended, continuing items 12.1 and approving 12.2, 12.3, 12.4 as is.
Perfect. That's my motion. Is there a second? By Commissioner Repenning. Any objection? Without objection, then that motion will carry. Any problem sending it forthwith as amended? Then it will be sent forthwith. Thank you, sir. And so, Mr. Campos, we have now affected the continuance of 12.1 too.
Correct.
12.1 as well, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tyson.
Thank you very much.
So let's go to agenda item number 13. Bureau of Street Services requested tree removal, 6245 West Wilshire Boulevard, recommending that 1, the board consider the addendum to the environmental impact report for the Wilshire Crescent Heights project, along with the EIR certified by the City of Los Angeles in July 27th of 2010 and related documents, prior to making a decision on the proposed street tree removal permit. 2, find that under the California Public Resources Code, Section 21166, and the California Environmental Quality Act Guidelines, Section 15162, on the basis of substantial evidence contained in the whole record, that none of the conditions described in Guidelines Section 15162 requiring preparation of a subsequent EIR exist. Specify that the Urban Forestry Division of BSS, located at 1149 South Broadway, is the custodian of the documents or other material which constitutes the record of the proceedings upon which the board's decision is based, and review and approve the request to remove 7 Indian laurel fig trees for public sidewalk reconstruction at 6245 West Wilshire Boulevard and street widening on Crescent Heights Boulevard. Tree replacements on a 2-to-1 ratio are required with minimum 24-inch box-sized trees. Mr. Tyson on number 13.
Again, good morning to everyone. The (6245) West Wilshire Boulevard contacted us through the individual Brian Gilchrist, the developer's representative for Wilshire Crescent Heights LLC. They are getting ready to construct 158 residential and 8 commercial condominium units and an additional 6,850 square feet of commercial space located at 6245 Wilshire Boulevard. The project construction team opined the project may require street tree removals. Therefore, Mr. Gilchrist contacted the Bureau requesting the site be inspected to determine the relationship between the proposed construction, street improvements, and adjacent street trees. A Bureau arborist inspected the subject location on July 15th, 2015. The inspection revealed three Indian laurel fig trees in fair health and planted within a 5-foot wide parkway on Wilshire Boulevard. The heights of these trees range from 20 to 30 feet in height, with trunk diameters ranging from 20 to 25 inches. On Crescent Heights Boulevard are an additional 6 Indian laurel fig trees in fair health, also planted within a larger 12-foot wide parkway, measuring approximately 20 inches in diameter by 25 feet in height. The 2 northernmost trees on Crescent Heights Boulevard are not going to be impacted by the street widening and will be retained. The proposed condominium project entails extensive sidewalk reconstruction on Wilshire Boulevard. On the Crescent Heights Boulevard side, the applicant is required to widen the roadway to complete a 45.5-foot wide street. Due to the scope of the project, the required root pruning to allow the trees to remain without significant and adversely affecting the tree's health and root structure integrity, it's not possible. Therefore, public sidewalk reconstruction and street widening require tree removal. There was an EIR that was done on this, and it included aesthetics, biological resources, cultural resources, water supply, traffic and transportation, utilities, and cumulative impacts. Turn out to be, according to the Urban Forestry Division, no tree removal permits have been issued or obtained within the last 6 months within a 1-block radius of the project site. In addition, a review of the Department of Public Works permits on Navigate LA indicate 3 Class A permits were obtained and or issued in the last 6 months within a 1-block radius of the project site. These permits were for work on public utilities and street furniture. Cumulative impacts are not anticipated with the proposed project improvements. Under CEQA guidelines, Section 15164, an addendum to a previously certified EIR shall be prepared if some changes or additions to the project are necessary. As conducted by the staff's analyst in the addendum for the street tree removal permit, an addendum is required here because some additions are necessary, but none of the following Section 15162 triggers for additional environmental review. No substantial changes are proposed to the project which will require major revisions of the previously prepared and certified EIR. No substantial changes have occurred with respect to the circumstances under which the project is being undertaken, and no new information of substantial importance which was not known and could not have been known with the exercise of reasonable diligence at the time of the previous EIR was certified has been identified. Therefore, to allow for the planned street widening and construction and public sidewalk reconstruction, it is recommended that your board approve the request for a street tree removal permit for the 7 subject street trees. Sylvia Lacey, District Director, 10th Council Office, was informed of the tree removal request on December 21st, 2015. Public comments on this tree removal request were received and heard both in writing and in person during the scheduled board public hearing. On July 15, 2015, the following public notice of this tree removal permit was conducted. Notice of proposed tree removal was physically posted on the subject trees. Proposed tree removals were included in the Bureau of Street Services tree removal notification system. Also, the Community Forest Advisory Committee was notified. The applicant should plant 3 24-inch box-sized London plane trees on Wilshire Boulevard and 4 24-inch box-sized African fern pine trees on Crescent Heights Boulevard to replace the live removed trees and provide watering to the trees for a minimum of 3 years. Exact tree locations are to be determined after all parkway improvements have been made. The applicant also must deliver 7 24-inch box-sized California pepper trees to the Bureau's nursery. We are requesting the board approve this forthwith.
Questions at all, Commissioner Repenning?
I have just a question about whether we thought of asking the developer in this case whether they would consider identifying empty tree wells in the area to do some of the additional plantings so that we could get closer to the 2-to-1 ratio. It is given the density of the area.
I'm not sure if that had taken place, I have to be honest, but we can sure work with the developer to see if we can find the locations and actually get them all planted in the area.
That would be ideal.
I think we should do that, Commissioner Repenning, in every instance where we're working with these developers, Tim, just kind of as a matter of practice, where we have a question about 2 to 1, meeting those goals.
Right.
Because they have done, granted, we work in the area every day. The council offices obviously are in these areas every day. But as the developers plan their projects, they're very familiar with the surrounding area. And they may be able to identify additional, as Commissioner Penning has stated, additional tree wells in the area that are available for such plantings.
I know that this is something we started doing just recently, and this might have been all put together prior to the couple reports we had just recently where they did find all the trees to be planted nearby. So I can surely contact the developer and work with him and make sure that all these trees get planted right in the area.
Great. Thank you. Any further questions? Thank you, Tim. I don't have any further questions. I would mention that we did receive compliments from some of the urban forest community outside the building regarding the board report on this item. At least I did. Is there a second to my motion that we adopt agenda item number 13 by Commissioner Penning? Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 13. Any problem sending it forthwith? We'll send it forthwith. Thank you for the follow-up, Tim.
And I will communicate with the board on working with the developer to plant the rest of the trees.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 15. Bureau of Engineering for Council District 14, recommending the board extend the bid receipt date for the asphalt plant number 1 replacement and modernization project from February 10th, 2016 until March 2nd, 2016. Mr. Young.
Good morning, commissioners, bureau heads, and all in attendance today. We're here to extend the bid date from February 10th to March 2nd. We've received a lot of questions for the asphalt plant project. It is a design-build methodology that we're using, and there have been a lot of questions regarding the plans and specs. Some of those that have submitted questions are not only general contractors, but some of the suppliers of asphalt plant material or supplies. And we are concerned that they may not participate if they're not given the additional time. So that's why we're here today asking for the additional time for the asphalt plant.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Hi, good morning. First of all, this is a very important project, and I know we're just anxious to get started, and so I'm very excited that we keep moving towards allowing more participation in this process. And my bigger concern, though, is I do know that Bavin was down again, and so I just want to be sensitive to, just making sure that we're in constant communications with folks to ensure that the participation and interest of those that want to bid don't get stymied by some of the hiccups that we're having right now in the system. So I just wanted to ensure that we have a lot of communication with those that are interested, especially given some of the challenges that we have going right now with Bavin.
Yes.
So you have obviously the list of the pre-bid, those that have participated in the pre-bid meetings, correct?
Yes, we have a list of those who participated in the pre-bid meeting as well as the mandatory job walk. And we also have a list of all plan holders for the project.
Okay.
And fortunately, they have been very good about informing us when they can't find something on Bavin. So that's some of the questions that we do receive. Sometimes they're related to their inability to download something.
Right, and because of those things, and because this is such a big project for the city, and we want to ensure the maximum amount of participation and just a really great number of bids submitted, I just want to make sure that that our staff is very proactive in communicating with folks, because I don't want them to find a hiccup and get stalled. So to the extent that staff can really be proactive in communications outwardly and just helping them navigate it is going to be very important for this project, especially given some of the unanticipated hiccups that we've had. So I just wanted to reinforce that as part of this effort. Okay, thank you.
So noted. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Jacinto.
Thank you. Paul, thanks for your report. You know, I don't know if this is easy to answer, but we haven't done this in a long time. So how many bids do you expect?
Well, we have 5 general contractors that participated in the mandatory job walk and pre-bid meeting. So they would be eligible for submitting bids. So we're hoping that all 5 of those general contractors submit a bid. So that's the number we're kind of working with at the moment. Yes.
Anything further regarding this bid extension? I don't have any questions. Commissioner Rodriguez has made a motion that we do so, seconded by Commissioner Jacinto. Any objection? Without objection, we will adopt agenda item number 15. Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul, and good luck. Let's move to agenda item number 17. We have an update or report on the LA Small Business Academy, the progress from the Bureau of Contract Administration and Hannah Choi.
Good morning, Commissioners. It's my pleasure to give you an update of the LA Small Business Academy. My name is Hannah Choi from the Bureau of Contract Administration. So we began this academy back in 2014. We were invited by the Department of Water and Power to join them in a 10-week academy to be held in the fall of 2014. So we partnered with USC and we launched the very first academy. We had 30 graduates, 7 who were women and 23 who were men. And we successfully completed that wonderful academy. So again, in 2015, we were planning to do another academy, and Commissioner Rodriguez really pushed us into expanding it so that more women can participate. The mayor's big support of gender equity really was implemented in this program. And so I'm just really happy to report that in 2015, we had 27 graduates, 12 who were male and 15 who were female. So we had over 100% improvement from the previous year. So we shared with you the graduation program, and if you flip to page 12, we added the list of classes, and it's exciting because it's a collaboration of many, many people and many businesses. So we not only have big businesses like Skanska and CDM Smith and Arcadis who send their best folks to train the students, but we also have our DWP staff, POLA, LAWA, as well as public works staff who came to train as well. So, we had Alan Kawaguchi from BOE, who is an excellent speaker. He was invited back to speak again last year. Students really appreciated him. We have Chris Jensen and Walter Bradley, as well as other employees of the various departments. And what's exciting this year was that it was not only DWP and the Department of Public Works and USC, but POLA as well as LAWA. I mean, that's huge. This is the first time in my career here where all of us joined together and worked together and supported one another in putting together an academy. And most times we did like one day how to do business with the city seminars. This was over a period of couple months. So it was pretty intense, and that made it very exciting. So we really appreciate Commissioner Davis and Commissioner Rodriguez in supporting us and being there, especially at the graduation, Commissioner Rodriguez, and supporting the students. So that was really good. We had some excellent students this year, so I invited a handful of them to join me today. I am so proud of them. I spent 10 weeks with them, so we're friends now. So I emailed them, hey friends, can you join me at the board today? And they drove all the way down. And so I told them this is a City Hall 101 experience. Come and join, the board meeting and learn what we do, and also share, what they experienced. So I would like to bring up, would all of you come up together? We have Sam Marshall from Power Scaffolding. We have Christy from ASW Engineering, and then Queen Galam from Intelligent Fire Systems. So whoever would like to go first. Go ahead. You're going to go?
Good morning, President James, Vice President Rodriguez, city representatives, Mr. City Attorney, and Mr. Executive Officer. I was very thankful for the experience that I had with the LA Small Business Academy. One of the things that it really helped me with was giving me the tools to navigate public work. But the second aspect that I really enjoyed was the fact that they stressed the importance of what it is to work for the city. To go with your point, Commissioner Penning, when you brought out that there are legitimate concerns about the quality of work that's done for the city, we have an obligation to not only provide quality work for the city, but as well make sure that the folks that we support have the best interests in mind. And so it's great that we're a local business. It's great that we're women-owned and certified, but we want to make sure that we're giving back to our own city, and it's an investment in ourselves. Very thankful for the opportunity, and it really did help me to see the importance of what we're doing here, and I'm very grateful for it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, and congratulations. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Christy Shuman with ASWB Engineering, and I too am so grateful for this opportunity, first of all, to be here this morning, as well as be one of the very few companies that were selected to be part of the academy. Every academy class, we really did have a group of experts training us. And I was able to go back to my office each week and share the information so we could be better prepared to help the city with the projects, as well as the airport. And one of the things that we want to provide you is we're a small engineering company. We're woman-owned and operated, and we have been in the environmental business. We do energy services and training. We've already done training for many years for LADWP, but we are an engineering service, and we do energy studies. And so we want to provide that expertise and work alongside you and be a team. And that is something that was really spelled out in the class, is building relationships and being there for the long haul. So we've been in business for 30 years, and we're hoping to help out in the environmental area and make LA part of the cutting edge and provide the services that we have in-house. So thank you again for this opportunity to get to know you better. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, and congratulations as well.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Queen Galam. I am Vice President of Intelligent Fire Systems. I've been in construction for close to 20 years now, and I worked with previous companies, and we stayed mostly in the private sector. So stepping out and starting my own business, having a daunting task of getting it off the ground, and then being faced with trying to get work in any kind of means that you can, one of the first things that comes up is public works. And I had had some previous experience with doing work for the city in small capacity, but it just always seemed like this overburdened beast to tackle. But when you're small, you're pliable, you're flexible, you're scalable, and you just go after anything and everything you can get your hands on. So when I was chosen for the academy, I was very excited. I was thankful for the opportunity. There was a lot of experience that I carried into this, but there was a lot of relative information that I found that was provided by a lot of the speakers that was very helpful, and it kind of put a better light on doing work with the city and just kind of giving you an understanding that you can manage it even as a small business. You just have to be really careful and cross your T's and dot your I's. I hope that all the agencies jointly continue to bolster this effort. There's, you know, a lot of issues being a woman in contracting to begin with. So anything that helps assist giving us at least a fair opportunity is always grateful. So thank you all for the opportunity.
Thank you and congratulations. Commissioner Rodriguez.
Thank you, Commissioner James. First of all, I need to start by thanking the staff, because this program wouldn't have not only continued, but it just wouldn't have the caliber of expertise participating had it not been for staff going above and beyond, availing themselves every Thursday evening to be with each of these businesses to help them provide their expertise and ensure that you guys were successful in navigating the process. So I really want to say, Hannah, you know, you, John, everybody, BOE, there's countless participants. Obviously, our friends over at POLA, at LAWA, DWP, everybody was just such a great collaborator in this effort. And, you know, it was, frankly, it was something that I've never seen before. And to have that happen consistently for these last 2 years and watch it grow with the addition of LA World Airports and the Port of LA is a really important step forward in the city. And I'm just very appreciative of staff's commitment to helping to fulfill yet another one of my crazy ideas. But I just want to say thank you so much for all of that. And to the businesses, to be honest, it won't work unless you make the commitment and attend consistently every Thursday for those 10 weeks. And I know there's a huge sacrifice, particularly as a small or emerging business, for you to give up that time away from your families, that time away from your business. You know, you have a very unique set of challenges as a small business where, you know, not only do you have to, I always kind of use the analogy of flying a plane, you know, it's like an airport. You know, as you're landing one project, you have to have another plane taking off to continue that cycle of business for your sustainability. And so it's such an important part of our overall economy. It's such an important part of how we're able to sustain or actually grow the participation of small businesses in this city. So I want to thank you for that commitment as well. But as I said at your graduation, you know, we can open the door, but we can't walk through it for you. And so it's really very important to ensure that you are helping others along and that you're constantly exercising with the tools that you've been given. And I do know that, you know, one of my other crazy ideas that we're going to be having soon is we want to bring all of those that graduated as part of this effort to come together, because that's a network for you to exchange best practices, to ensure that you're communicating with one another, because now you guys, I mean, it's really all about bringing each other up and ensuring that you're in a competitive environment here in the city, and we want to make sure that you guys continue to share and grow. And so we are going to be having, for lack of a better word, a little reunion, but a convening of all the graduates from the Small Business Academy coming up in the next handful of weeks, so that we can ensure that you continue to exchange with one another and continue to grow your opportunities. But thank you all so much for this. It's really, it's one of the best things that I just had the privilege to be a part of. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Rodriguez. Commissioner Repenning?
I just want to thank you, Commissioner Rodriguez, for your leadership on this issue, and Hannah and everyone at ConAd who worked on this. This is a great project. I know that you're very passionate about this work as well. And you know, as we spend city dollars building projects or providing services, we have to find ways to leverage those dollars to actually grow our LA communities, our business communities, make sure that those dollars are an investment into our neighborhoods as well. I want to thank the businesses who participated. We're really glad to have that you're interested in being part of our city family, and we, you know, it's great that you're helping ensure that our local small business community is thriving. So, good luck to you guys, and thanks so much to everyone for doing this.
Commissioner Sento.
Thank you, President James. Hannah, thank you so much for the report, for the presentation. I want to congratulate you and the whole entire team. It takes a village to do this program with village leaders. I want to congratulate our colleague, Commissioner Rodriguez, for her tenacity and fierceness in getting the numbers up, right? Because if she wasn't on here, it wouldn't have been as many. We all know that. So that's very important in terms of the numbers and the higher female-owned Weeby participation. It is incredible to see these businesses, and thank you for coming out of your business days to provide testimony to the impact. How many hours, contact hours was it? 10, 60 hours, something like, 40 hours. It's tremendous. I'm going to ask you to be participant observers and to now be champions in the business community to reach out, because there's no other stronger testimony than participants to be out there, to reach out there so we can continue to get more maybe Weeby numbers up, and that the program thrives and grows larger. So congratulations to you. We're here to watch your businesses continue, your relationships with the city, and your leadership within the field of small business. So congratulations and mabuhay to you all.
Hannah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your support. So in addition to the Small Business Academy last year under Commissioner Davis's leadership, we had a one-day how to do business with the city for the South LA community in Science Center, and that was very successful. So we are going to assist Commissioner Jacinto this year in the spring for the Asian Pacific Islander community. We will host another event for them, and so we'll be working closely to get that going. And I don't think we've ever done one in the past for that community in particular. So this is great. So we're hoping to do that in May with the Asian Pacific Heritage Month events. So that's happening. And then another exciting thing is we are meeting regionally with other agencies regarding small businesses. So we want to exchange information, assist one another. The first meeting was held at MWD, so we will be meeting quarterly. This is the first one that we're doing, where we can kind of talk about the certification issue and how to work together and make it easier for businesses. So we'll report next time on some of the ideas that come from that. We are signing a reciprocity agreement with the state because we are using their certification, so we don't have to do that work. So that's happening also in the next month. We're also excited about, we began this journey with Commissioner Reppening for the sidewalk program, and as you know, we are carving out a percentage of those dollars for small businesses. So that should be coming to you by the end of the month, where the projects will be less than $100,000 each. We will highly encourage small businesses to participate and get on a list of pre-qualified firms. And at the same time, we will encourage, because PLA will not be part of this project, we will strongly encourage the participants to utilize transitional job opportunity program agencies to find additional construction employees that they might need on the job. So this will be a wonderful way of bringing everybody together, and the larger companies can compete for the bigger projects, and the smaller companies can do this. And through PLA, through TJOP, we're hoping to cover a wide net to gather as many employees out there who need opportunities. So that's what's coming up in the world of small businesses.
Commissioner Penning?
Thanks for everything you're doing again. It would be interesting as you continue to grow this network of small businesses to find ways to introduce them and pair them with some of our contractors that we regularly work with who, are always looking, I think, for
Subs.
partners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really exciting because when the speakers from the bigger companies came, the students were able to network and find out. And we also had elevator speeches given by students to prepare them for opportunities when they speak to bigger businesses. So that's, I think, it's not just the instruction, but as one of our speakers said, the relationships that come And so they're on notice that, oh, yeah, she was a participant, he was a participant at the academy. And so doors are opening for them. So it would be interesting when we have the mixer, I'm going to call it a academy graduate mixer, to find out if any relationships, were built and if any opportunities were given as a result. So, yeah, definitely. Thank
Hannah,
you.
when is the third annual? And when is the application period?
We're jumping ahead of it. They're
Yeah,
still
well, I
recovering
see that
from
we've
2015.
got the second annual here.
We normally start in the summer.
Okay.
We will issue letters and then have applications coming in probably July.
Okay.
And then we'll pick the students and then we start in August.
Because it's going to
Yeah.
get more traction than that even. But, yeah. Okay.
Right. All righty. Thank you.
Thank you. So the oral report will obviously be received. Thank you, everybody. Congratulations. And we look forward to our continued working relationship. Mr. Executive Officer, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, you have.
Then we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.